What's up, beautiful people? Check it out. I ain't been doing no politics, right? Not like I normally would, but this warrants me to have some political discussion. You know, I've been going through X today, and I'm like, yo, I gotta talk about some of the things that I'm seeing right now. So I decided to do this live and show you guys what I'm seeing. And I also brought on a guest. All right, the Patriots Lab. So let me go ahead and bring bro up. Where you at? Why aren't you here? Where you at? You're not here. Oh, wait. There you are. Okay, there we go. What's up, my brother?
What's good, bro? How's everything?
Everything is everything, bro. This is about to be funny because we were just talking, chopping it up backstage, you know, before the show started. And Jasmine Crockett, I got to bring this first one up, man. I got to bring it up because Jasmine is all over the news right now. She's all over the news right now, not for the right reasons. Like, I think she just got allegedly, she got a charge put on her, an assault charge. And I'm just like, what's going on with this chick? So I decided to look up Jasmine Crockett and see what she's got going on. And I came across this clip, which I want to play right now. Before I play it, let everybody know who you are, man.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure and an honor to finally be with you, Cash Kelly. My name is Ray Fagans. I'm the host of the Patriots Lab Uncensored. And brother, when I got your text and you said you wanted to go live, and then I found out what you was going to be talking about, there was no way I could pass up this opportunity to have some fun. This
is going to be a lot of fun, bro. I'm about to have some fun with this.
And I'm glad this is my actual first time in your studio. What better way to kick it off?
Brother, we about to have a blast. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the clip. Check this out, man.
About emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm gonna skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Miss Mayor, and I just want to clarify, you did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam.
And to be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the
gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Bro, so this is my thing, right? Now all of a sudden she wants to quote the Constitution when they went after Trump and Trump supporters for how long? How long? They want to talk about freedom of speech. They've tried to silence people and been okay with the silencing of people who are conservative for how long? Make it make sense. And then she got to cut. She gets up there and, nah, I'm not going to bash her too bad on this because we got the same thing that happens on the right. You know, we got MTG that get up there and she'll cuss somebody out. But she got up there, bro, and just, you see how she tries to turn on that she's ghetto. We all know Jasmine is not, you're not from the ghetto, Jasmine. So you got this persona that you've adopted, you know, when you come in front of the people and you try to put on the sister girl act. And I don't like it. I mean, but this is America. If you want to be what you want to be, you go ahead and be that. You want to talk the way you talk the way you talk in front of your colleagues, you know, on Capitol Hill. But I just think it's a bad look for America for you to get up there and be saying the things is BS. I'm not using the colorful language she used, but you know what I mean. What you think, bro?
Right. My personal opinion, I pray that she continues to do exactly what she's doing. I pray that she continues to show just how ignorant some people can be, even when they're really not that ignorant. Because I know Jasmine Crockett was raised better than what she's showing right now.
Yeah.
So the Trump derangement syndrome is real, brother. And I never realized it until what? We're on almost 3 months. He's been president. The Democrats still haven't come out and said what they would do for this country to at least intrigue us to want to vote for him,
Facts.
they still tearing down Trump day after day after day. And not just Trump, us, his followers. And the only thing he's doing is finding trillions of missing dollars.
Yeah, we gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that too. But you know what's wild? Is Jasmine Crockett was one of the most vocal people about my man Elon when he said, "My heart goes out to you," right? And they were trying to call him a mustache man supporter. You know, they tried to call him a Nazi and all these things. But look at this. Look at this. Hey, bro, look at this. Hey, what's going on, Jasmine? The same thing that they ripped Elon for, and then she's up here, got her hand all the way up. Her hand looks higher than what Elon hand was. Straight up. I mean, is that the same? Is that a salute?
Well, hey, if you leave it to, I call her Jasmine. I know you call her Jasmine, but she mean as hell. I call her Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
Now, if you let her make the excuse like she's prone to do, she would probably say that's one of those Vulcan signs that she was trying to give out to Spock or some stuff. That's what she would say. She said, I was giving one of them Star Trek Vulcan signs.
I just don't get it, though. The same thing that they were really, all of them was coming out. Elon's a Nazi and this and that. And I look at Jasmine caught in the same exact position. And I don't know what she's saying there. Obviously, I don't think that she's saying what they try to make it out that, you know, Elon said. But I mean, just look at it. It's just funny how you could take things and just make a clip and run with it. Like, I could clip this up and make a reel about Jasmine Crockett doing a salute, and it would go. It would definitely go. You know, it's funny to me. It's funny to me. I got more. I've got more, bro.
I know you do. You've been waiting for them to give you an opportunity like this.
This is funny. So she's talking in that clip that we just played. She's talking to CBS and was it NPR, right? Talking about CBS and NPR. Well, I found a couple interesting clips that I just want to play real quick because they've been funding these people, right? Like the CEOs of NPR or the CEO of NPR and CBS, they get money from the government, bro, which I think should be illegal. Personally, I think that it's wrong that the government has any dealings at all with the media outside the media doing their job. But when they have funds coming in from the government, now they're incentivized. It's basically like they're paid to tell you what to think without, you know, giving you any kind of truth. They're just leading you to a way of thinking and what to think, like, about the situation. And I find that to be really messed up, especially in a country that's supposed to be free press. And this is the press that they put out there. They getting paid. It ain't free.
And it's crazy. It's crazy you bring that up because you have a 1,000% legitimate point. Since
pause real quick, brother. Pause 1 second. I'm so sorry. Lucretia,
yes,
let me send you a link. You need to be on this discussion, Lucretia. Lucretia, you need to come on in here. You just put it in the chat and I'll send you the link right now. Straight up. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
Nah, it's it's I forgot what that's that old man syndrome. That's that old man.
I shouldn't have interrupted you.
No, you good. You good. Hey, I'll do a Jen Psaki. I'll circle back to it.
I bet. Well, here we're gonna go. We were talking about the media, so I got this clip. Check this out.
Oh yeah. Then after that.
Go ahead. You can say it.
It's crazy how free speech is allowable even with lies. Now I understand there's a thing of free speech in my household. I give my kids free speech. You got, if you voice your opinion, you're young men.
I'm a tyrant.
I'm not gonna allow you to just come in my house and tell lies. Mm-hmm. So your point exactly. When does it hit that fine line of freedom of speech and just being able to spew lies and stuff like that and not be held accountable?
Yeah. That's the question. But let's listen to what my man got to say.
Failed to do that. Let me ask you, why did you call President Trump a fascist and a deranged racist sociopath in 2020?
Congressman, I appreciate the opportunity to address this. I regret those tweets. I would not tweet them again today. They represented a time where I was reflecting on something that I believe that the president had said rather than who he is. I don't presume that anyone is a racist.
You don't believe anyone is a racist?
I don't start by presuming anyone is a racist.
Okay, now, here's the problem that I have with this. Now, everybody's entitled to change, right? Anybody can change. But the problem that I have here is that you're a very, very big organization. A lot of people get their news from your news media, which is NPR, right? Now, here's the problem. You say you don't believe that anymore, right? And that when you wrote that, it was because you believed something that you had seen. So you put out a lie about the president because of something that you thought he said, because of a quote or whatever it was that she just said, and you put out that he is a fascist and a Nazi, and you don't believe that anymore, and then you proceeded to do the same thing and spread the same misinformation and lead people to think this, that committed violent acts, almost tried to take the president out before he got in office again. They almost assassinated President Trump because they thought that he was a fascist and a Nazi, which you no longer believe. CEO of NPR, I believe that's who she is. How is that? How is this okay? And you know what it really is the reason why she don't believe this anymore is simply because Trump is in office. Trump is in office and he's holding everybody accountable. So now you don't believe these things anymore, and you don't believe that anybody. She went as far as to say, I don't believe that anybody is a fascist or a racist or a Nazi. Is that not crazy?
Bro, they're all trying to save face. They still believe the same thing they've always believed. But now they know Big Daddy's in charge. And if they dare come out and give their true feelings like she did 2 years ago, there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. And they can't do that.
I hope
just
there's
like
consequences.
Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A., do you think I forgot how you used to ridicule us, Mega, and how you used to talk about, but now Big Daddy's back. Now you want to act like, the Democrats, they liars. Joe Biden, I was calling him out. Bro, pump the brakes.
I got a love-hate relationship with him. I got a love-hate relationship with Stephen A. Smith. But
no, I don't even know how you can have a love-hate relationship with. Show me the love. What's the love part? He
do be trying to call out the Democrats. And remember when he went all the way off, he had this like rant that he did basically in favor of Trump. And then
until that black woman backed him up in the corner.
And then they made him come back out and apologize and say that he doesn't support Trump and all these things. So yeah, that's why I say I got a love-hate.
Window, bro.
I feel you. I feel that. I get it. But
how many people have you lost in your family? How many close friends have you lost?
A lot.
And you stood 10 toes down in your beliefs, and now they like, damn, Cash, bro, you were right, bro. You were right. And some of them you don't even want an apology.
I get that all the time from people, all the time. But you know, it is what it is.
These are grown people, Cash. These are grown people. It ain't like they made a mistake. They knew what they was doing, bro. So I don't hold no sympathy. You know what? Come out and apologize. I'll respect you more, and then we can keep it moving. But don't act like you never used to be who you was.
I'll settle for them just changing their thought pattern. They ain't got to apologize to me. They ain't got to do none of that. I'll settle for them just getting their mind right and getting, being regular again, just being normal towards people and not being toxic like how these people have tried to make people be with the way that they report the news, which leads me into this little next one, right? Look at this.
Do you think that white people should pay reparations?
I've never said that, sir.
Yes, you did. You said it in January of 2020. You tweeted, yes, the North, yes, all of us, yes, America, yes, our original collective sin and unpaid debt, yes, reparations, yes, on this day.
I don't believe that was a reference to fiscal reparations, sir.
What kind of reparations was it a reference to?
I think it was just a reference to the idea that we all owe much to the people who came before us.
That's a bizarre way to frame what you tweeted.
So that's funny. Again, holding them accountable, okay? She's pushing this into the minds of people. Reparations, right? Fine, if that's what you truly believe. But now here you sit, backpedaling, saying, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant that we need to pay homage to all the people that came before us, not necessarily black or white, just all the people. No, you was trying to get black folks to be upset, thinking about reparations and what they should get or what is owed to them. And now you don't believe it. Again, you changed your level of thinking because now people are being held accountable in the news. And I find that to be amazing. Just for the sake of discussion, bro. How do you feel about reparations?
I wasn't a slave. My mama wasn't a slave. My grandmama wasn't a slave. And how do you measure who gets reparations and how much? Let's say you live in the projects in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Where you gonna put 40 acres and a mule in the projects? Your next door neighbor is 2 feet away in another apartment. This is, in my personal opinion, reparations is a way for lazy ass people to get some money. Because they're going to spend it as quick as they get it. And then what are they going to cry after that to try to get some money?
Yeah, I feel that. Well, for me.
You know why I don't cry about reparations? Because I get up every day, go to work. Well, used to. I'm retired now. But I made my way. That's why I don't worry about who the president is. Because regardless who the president is, I still got to get up, go to work, and make sure my household is taken care of.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
So, reparations, hey, why they want reparations? They don't even want $5,000 stimulus check.
Yo, I don't know. I'm going to say this about reparations, right? I ain't out here fighting for reparations. But if they want to give it, I'll take it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But see, this is my thing. If Jasmine Crockett is going to get on here and say, we don't need your $5,000, then what y'all need the reparations for? Bro, I get double the reparations. If they do give reparations, I get double because both sides of my ancestry come from slavery. I'm half Irish and I'm half black. So I get it both because people don't like to talk about it, but the Irish people was enslaved right next to the black slaves. I'm Irish. I went to my Irish ancestry when I was up in Maryland and stuff. Went through there. Yeah. My grandmother's mother, my great grandmother, is pure Irish, full-blooded. Yeah. A lot of Irish people like that, man, and they just this is why the argument for reparations to me is a ridiculous argument to have. Number one, you don't know who actually comes from a slave. Just because you black doesn't mean that you come from a slave. In fact, it doesn't even mean you come from a slave master if you're white. You know what I'm saying? And there's some black people that come from slave masters that were black. Slave masters that were black that don't get talked about. So do those black people that descend from that line of that black slave master, do they also have to pay reparations, or would they get reparations? What's the qualification? Is it just having dark skin? Because then what about the white people from back in the day that now have black ancestors or black descendants? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like it's a ridiculous argument. So that's why I don't even really get into the whole reparations thing. But like I say, if there ever is reparations that are handed out, I would like double servings, and I would not say no. All right, just to keep it fair. Oh, Cash don't give it. What y'all see his name, right? Cash. He ain't turning down no free money. No, boy. If they want to give reparations out, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll do good with it too, man. I'll do some good with it. But we ain't out here fighting for reparations. It's a silly argument to have. So, that being said, check this out.
Former senior business editor for NPR.
How long do you work at NPR?
I believe he was there just over 25 years.
25 years? Award-winning journalist? Did he win any awards?
Our time to
Peabody Award. That's pretty important, isn't it?
That is, absolutely.
So pretty distinguished journalist, right?
Certainly.
And he wrote a long story about what you do at NPR. Is NPR biased?
Congressman, I have never seen any instance of...
Never?
of political bias determining editorial decisions. No.
Do you hear this?
Well, Mr. Berliner, in his story last year, wrote, in the D.C. area, editorial positions at NPR, he said he found 87 registered Democrats, 0 Republicans. Is that accurate?
We do not track the numbers or the voter registration, but I find that
Was award-winning journalist who worked 25 years at NPR, Mr. Berliner, was he lying when he wrote that?
I am not presuming such. I just we don't track that information about our journalists.
87 to 0? And you're not biased?
I think that is concerning if those numbers are accurate.
That's crazy.
I mean, it wasn't 44-43. It wasn't 60-27. It wasn't 70-17. It wasn't even 80-7. It was 87 Democrats, 0 Republicans, and you say NPR is not biased. How about the big stories over the last few years? According to Mr. Berliner, again, he wrote on the Trump-Russia story, he wrote, at NPR, we hitched our wagon to Trump's most visible antagonist, Representative Adam Schiff. He said they interviewed him 25 times. Is that accurate?
I was not there at the time, but those numbers sound accurate. Yes.
Those sound accurate. But then he said when the Mueller report came out and Robert Mueller said he found no evidence of collusion, he said Russiagate faded from our programming. Is that accurate?
Again, I was not there at the time. I couldn't say.
You couldn't say?
I was not at NPR at the time.
You didn't prepare for that? You knew we were going to ask you about this guy, didn't you? It's come up like 6,000 times already in the hearing.
I just couldn't say whether it faded from our
just
coverage.
embarrassing.
How about this story? October 2020, the New York Post had the Hunter Biden laptop story, and one of those editors, I guess one of those 87 Democrat editors, said this: we don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories. We don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' times on stories that are just pure distractions. Was that a pure distraction story?
Our current editorial leadership believes that that was a mistake, as do I.
Yeah, the whole country knows that was a mistake. Definitely impacted the election, or I think it certainly impacted the election. How about the COVID origin story? That's a pretty big story too, right? Mr. Berliner said, we became fervent members of the team Natural Origin, even declaring that the lab leak was debunked by scientists. Turns out, though, the lab leak is what most people think actually caused the COVID virus.
Sorry, is there a question there?
There is. You guys were 0 for 3 on the three of the biggest stories in the last 5 years. You guys were 0 for 3, and yet you maintain that NPR is not biased?
Congressman, I do not believe we are politically biased. No, we are a nonpartisan organization.
Nonpartisan.
So you see what happens, guys. This is what happens when you have a political party funding media. That's what happens. They didn't want any of the truths to come out, and they peddled lies. They peddled the Russia thing, which he's right. Ultimately, in my opinion, did impact the election. They pushed the whole COVID story, and they buried things on purpose, misled people on purpose. And if you went against NPR, you got hit. I lost my entire platform. I lost my Facebook. I lost my Instagram. I lost my Patreon because I was telling the truth at the time when these people was peddling lies. And now here we are in 2025, and we found out, oh, Cash, everything that you thought was real. Everything that you said was the truth, dog. And yeah, you lost your platform for no reason. You were targeted for no reason. So many other people lost their platforms because people like this was putting out information that people would cite. They would cite this information as if it was fact because they had the fact checkers. You know, Snopes, also a very leftist-leaning, fact-checking site. They don't put out the facts. They put out information that they want you to believe as a fact. And now everything is just pointing, everything that we was fact-checked on has now came out. And guess what? Guess what? We was right. We was right. They was wrong. And here we sit. But it's so nice to sit in 2025 and see them railing a CEO of NPR. It's great. How you feel about that, bro?
I love their reactions. It's like they're the head of these companies, but yet they are clueless to what is taking place. They remind me of Christopher Wray.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the head of the FBI. You're running an organization, And you don't know if you got FBI people on the ground on January 6th. Well, I don't know. I think it's frustrating when you have to sit here in America today and watch grown adults lie to you right in front of your face.
Facts.
And these are the people that we are supposed to entrust our country to. Let me put this out there for just because I got to. If you're raising kids today and you're trying to keep them on the straight and narrow, if you're trying to raise them with some respect, if you're trying to raise them on how to treat a lady, if you're trying to raise them with any type of proper morals and values, keep them away from politics. Because the same people that we used to look up to back in the day, that, oh, you can be president, I want to be president. When our kids look at them now and watch how they act, do we really want that type of energy to be being consumed by our kids? How do you think our kids look? Our kids will be like, yeah, I want to be president. Yeah, I can rob, I can steal, I want to be president, I want to be senator. Now they want to do it for different reasons.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
It's a battle. How are we supposed to raise a constructive family when our leadership at the top level, we can't even watch?
Well, I'll say when it comes to raising your kids, that all of that is whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. You have a set of different presidents. Like, for instance, right now, I'll tell my son, if he wanted to be president, I'll say, well, then you take some notes out of Trump's book, because Trump has been a president that's been for the people. Regardless of, I'm not telling you to act like his moral character or act like the person that he was, that they try to throw on display about, you know, he did this and he did that. We ain't talking about that. We talking about having a job. You want to be the best, like, think of a wrestler, right? You want to be the best wrestler, well, then you emulate Stone Cold or emulate The Rock and do the things that they did in the business to make themselves successful. Don't do the things that they do outside that have nothing to do with wrestling. Get what I'm saying? So that's how I would push that. But it all starts at the home when it comes to raising a kid. And but
don't you think it makes it a little bit harder? Because when
no, not at all. Not at all. You use it like I'll use Jasmine Crockett's clips as an example to show my daughters, never be like this woman. Amen. Never. This is a poor representation of what America is right here, sitting in Congress. She's a poor representation. So if you ever want to think about becoming somebody successful and being a champion of the people in Congress, never be like her, because she makes us all look bad as Americans. So that's how I would use it as a tool like that.
From them that she's just being real because she's mad and upset, and that's how that's how we just act. You let them know off the rip, you don't conduct yourself that way, and that's not.
Oh no, my kids know better. My kids know better than to act any other way than how they're supposed to act, and they know how they're supposed to act because I taught them how they're supposed to act. So any way that you act outside of that is not welcome inside of this house. Now, when you leave this house and you're out, you know, grown and on your own in your own place, because even when you leave this house and go to school, you're still a representation of me and this household, because they're gonna say, oh, this person ain't raising their kid right. You know what I'm saying? So my kids know how to act in school. They know how to act in public. They know how to act, period, or it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them parents that don't spare the rod.
So let me ask you this question. What would you say to Jasmine Crockett's parents that know they raised a daughter better than that, but now have to watch
nothing,
possibly a total opposite of what
I wouldn't say nothing to them. It's not their fault. They did everything right. They sent her to private schools. They made sure that she had the best of everything. They made sure she lived in a good community growing up. They did everything right. This is Jasmine Crockett as a grown adult taking on a persona and being this person that she wasn't raised to be. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about her parents.
Mom and dad can still sit her down and be like, hey, wait a minute. Because I know I'm 56. I'm 56. And my mama is like my sister. But if my grandmother that raised me was still alive, love you, mama. But even at 56, I'm sorry, I'm a grown man. But if I got out of pocket, she'd take her one-legged butt in her wheelchair and she'd make a house call to Mr. Rayfield and be like, You're too old for me to put you over my knee, but I got something for you if you don't get your stuff right.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
how grandma was. So I
my
would think her
mom,
mom and dad would be like, yo, pump the
nah,
brakes, yo.
my mom is different. So like I say, it's like, again, it's different strokes for different folks, man.
Right.
You know, but Jasmine Crockett's parents ain't to blame for who Jasmine Crockett is today. When you look at how Jasmine Crockett was poising herself to be in her early years, she looked promising, respectable. She was great. But now you see Jasmine Crockett, and it's all you could think. Whenever people, right, regular people see Jasmine Crockett and look at online what they say: trash, ghetto. And look at the little skits that she be pulling, doing things that are unbecoming of a congressperson. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, you're doing this. This ain't your parents' fault. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame nobody but yourself. You are a grown adult making conscious decisions on what you're going to say and how you, like what she said about Tim Abbott. Now she's doing all this backpedaling on that, trying to clean it up when she called them Hot Wheels, making fun of basically you making fun of people that are in wheelchairs. You know what I'm saying?
If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would have never used that reference. And now come to find out she called them Hot Wheels before in her tweets and stuff.
Yeah. So now she's doing what well, I'm not going to say the Democrats, what the leftists do, and trying to play the word game. Well, no, I was talking about him busing people up, the migrants up from Texas all around the country. Those with Hot Wheels. No, we know what you meant. You know what you meant. And now you trying to lie to the people. And that's what I feel people should be upset about. You should be upset about the fact, not because she said what she said. You said what you said, you stand on it. Be upset at the fact that she's willing to believe that you're stupid enough to believe her excuse of why she said it, and not having the bravery and the courage to stand on what she said and say, yeah, I said it, but I said it because, Trump did this and was talking about this person, or because that's what she tried to do. Ultimately, no, I didn't do this thing, but Trump has done this, and this. And Trump stands on what he said.
That's right.
Trump, you only hear Trump going back and say, oh, no, I wouldn't. I meant every word I said. They're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Trump's like that. But you got Jasmine Crockett and all the rest of them that are like Jasmine Crockett. They can't stand on what they say. And for me, that's a problem.
And when they ask them why they did it, the only thing they can do is, well, Trump did it. Well, two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, I mean, but even so, it's not even that it's wrong.
That's his character.
It's just unbecoming. It's like that's the whole thing. It's like, you guys are supposed to be, number one, the party of tolerance and diversity and equity and inclusion and sensitive towards everybody and don't make fun of people. And we don't care. I roast you. You know what I'm saying? I'll roast all day long. I don't have a problem with it. I like, a good roast every now and again. I crack up at them. But these people are the ones that preach against these types of things. It's not us that are. I don't care what she called Tim Abbott. I laughed when I heard it. I'm like, that's pretty funny.
But claim it. Own it.
Right.
Claim
but
it,
exactly. Just claim it. Stand on it. Don't turn around and be like, oh, well, I didn't mean it that way. I meant it like this, because now you're lying to the people that look to you. You're lying to your own people instead of saying, you know what? Yeah, I did say it. And I said it because decorum has gone out the window a long time ago when this person said this and this person said that. Now I'm just playing by their rules. Be real. Say what you really feel. You know what I'm saying? She thought she was in a comfortable setting when she was on that stage and could talk to them people and that it wasn't going to get out. But now it got out, and now you got to do damage control. The internet is a very big place, Jasmine.
Well, and like you say, hey, the boss man is back. And people are not afraid anymore to get on the offensive with these people anymore. There was a time people were scared to go head to head with these people because I never knew when the FBI was going to knock on my door for the 6th time. So I was more reserved because I was like, dude, y'all got tentacles out there that can reach the podcasters. When we ruffle y'all feathers and y'all, I know I've had my door pounded on numerous times by the alphabet police, and it's not a good feeling. So I understand because, my goodness, I don't even know why I wanted to talk about that. It's
all good.
People back out there. If you don't know what it's like to have the FBI pounding on your door out of nowhere.
Yeah, I feel that. But here's something that I got a problem with, right? I found issue with this, and because of what he says. So let's take a listen.
We haven't had
Hey, everybody, Tim Burchett. Just leaving that. Oh, hey, Fossey, great. Have a good weekend, brother. Thank you. Several bills today. Not a whole lot moving the needle. I'm kind of disgusted, really. I mean, freaking Rashida Tlaib's got an amendment on here to, I don't know, is going after our friends, I'm sure. And we allow those crazy amendments on there. They get 3 votes, and I can't even get a bill on the floor to defund the Taliban or stop selling genetic material to our enemies. 5 bills. I guess the major one was, sure they'll do a victory lap on this one. Walk-in coolers and freezers. It was basically the Biden administration had put some terrible rules and regulations, and it outlawed our basically American manufacturers, and it created an inlet for the foreign and our adversaries to do business. So I mean, it's a good piece of legislation, need to be passed, but we're not fulfilling President Trump's Doge agenda. Remember this, Congress, Republicans, we got about a 3-person lead maybe, and I'm sure I'll catch hell for saying this, but we did. Our approval rating is right above those people that are scraping Teslas right now, and you know we're running around the country hollering about all this stuff, and Trump won overwhelmingly because of the Doge agenda, cutting this stuff out, and we're not cutting nothing out. So, yeah, I'm disgusted. Anyway, hopefully we'll do better next week.
Yo, he just said a mouthful right there. And I know people don't want to hear that, but that's real. He's talking about what they just was discussing while they were behind them walls. They not cutting nothing out. Now, everybody up in arms, and a lot of us, you know, we love Doge. We love I personally love the concept of Doge. Yes, they've exposed what the money is being spent on, but we're not moving the needle because they're not cutting the spending the way that they should. While they're still in there voting on bills with your money, you're going to pay for, I'm going to pay for, America is going to pay for these bills with something about refrigerators, what I don't know. But they're not cutting the spending that they have found where money is being spent. Just wrong, right? And he said something that was crucial. They voting on these things, and he can't get important bills that are defunding the Taliban. I don't even know why we would be funding the Taliban. You know, that's crazy. But he says we have a 3 Republican lead, basically. So everything should be going through. Everything should be going through. What does that mean when it's not? That means that we have Republicans that are voting against the agenda. That's a problem. So I know we all like to beat up on the left side, the Democratic side, but you got to beat up just as much on the right side, because there's a bunch of corrupt people sitting inside that Capitol building that are not about the right thing, that do not care for this agenda, that are just as corrupt as the people that we point out on the left, if not more corrupt, to be honest with you. So we need to be fair about this. If there's things not being done, you can't blame Democrats right now. This is what I want everybody to understand. You can't blame the Democrats right now for bills not going through. You literally can only blame Republicans. Am I wrong?
Nah, bro, you're totally right. And the reason being is because this new wave of politicians, this new wave that we now call MAGA, if you look at the leaders of the forefront of MAGA, very young.
I love it.
We dealing with old money. This is the old guard. Democrats and Republicans have been in cahoots for decades. getting paid off the backs of the tax dollars of the American people.
Facts.
It ain't just been Democrats. It's been Democrats and Republicans.
100%.
That's why both sides hate Trump. Because Trump favors no side. Trump
Favors the American people.
That's it. Yeah, man. When you dealing, when you got the rats in your own backyard still, and you think you got them out. No, and see that's dangerous, because you know the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Republicans are. The Republicans are more of a threat to Donald Trump than the Democrats, because
100%.
Donald Trump knows exactly where the Democrats are coming from, but it's those sneaky Republicans he's got to watch out for.
Yeah,
the ones that smile in his face.
Yeah,
and can't wait.
I hope that when they primary, I hope a lot of these people that are Republicans lose their spots, man. Straight up. Lindsey Graham, I don't like Lindsey Graham. I feel like he is one of the biggest snakes, and I don't understand why Trump messes with him. I really don't. I'm like, I'm literally, I be scratching my head. I'm like, what is he still? This dude was against you and vocally against you and against us. And now you just buddied up with this dude, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe he got a plan, because you know Trump be playing like 5D chess. So I'm hoping that it's one of those things. I'm hoping that he got some pawns in position where he about to shake the board in some type of way, because that dude is a swamp rat if there ever was one. Straight up.
I really believe Trump doesn't even care about them anymore. You know,
he got
Trump,
to.
This second term, and I love when Trump said this, because when they was talking about, well, Trump, are you coming back for vengeance? And this, Trump said, look, my biggest vengeance will be success.
Facts.
And what I see Trump doing this second term is whatever the hell he wants to do, he's letting them say what they want to say. He's not even messing with them. I noticed that about him. He's not engaging with them. He is full steam ahead, letting them say what they want to say. And this man is moving in 4 warp speed. He's got so many things. They can't keep up. They don't know they really don't know what he's doing, because he's doing so much at the same time. I mean, he's got his teams in this country and that country making deals, bringing this together, that together. Then he's dealing with the border, and then you know, I really believe God has 99.9% to do with what and how Trump is able to do what he's doing right now. I give Trump 1% of the credit, because you got to have a willing vessel, and you got to have, you got to be willing to take on the task. But once you're willing to take on the task, he let go and let God. When that man had that near fatal miss, I've never heard him talk about God more than he's been talking about God after that incident.
Facts.
And I really think his number one thing is, I don't care if I die doing it. I don't care who's in my way. I'm going to do what I know needs to be done.
That's real.
That's it. And a lot of American people don't like it. And some of the American people, it's almost like they can't believe either what's happening or what was happening before Trump came. It's like a movie to them. It's like, he can't be revealing all of this. There's no way this stuff was taking place. They wasn't robbing us of these trillions of dollars that they're claiming to be finding. No way.
Yeah, it's all. I'm excited to see how everything is still gonna play out, because I try to remind myself that we're only 2 months, 3 months in, going on 3 months in. You know, I try to remind myself of that. It feels like longer now, because it's just good having a real president back in the White House.
Yes.
You know, that actually cares about the people. So I try to give a little bit of grace. I just want to see more action being taken, man. And it really upsets me, which is why I've been staying away from the politics. It upsets me to see so many rhinos, bro, still sitting inside of there blocking the agenda. It blows my mind. But in other news, we got this I want to show you all.
Here at CCOT today and visiting this facility. And first of all, I want to thank El Salvador and their president for their partnership with the United States of America to bring our terrorists here and to incarcerate them and have consequences for the violence that they have perpetuated in our communities. I also want everybody to know, if you come to our country illegally, this is one of the consequences you could face. First of all, do not come to our country illegally. You will be removed and you will be prosecuted. But know that this facility is one of the tools in our toolkit that we will use if you commit crimes against the American people.
Bro, look at that. Look at all them people. Boy, they stacked up like sardines in there. That's a bad type of prison to live in right there, bro. You gotta, I mean, I wonder how they get bed space at night. I'm pretty sure it can't be comfortable. They ain't even got a mattress, dog. They on top of metal.
Yes, sir.
They living on top of metal. So it's like a giant kennel for people who wanted to act like pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to. She said something very dope that she said, bro. She said, don't come to our country and commit crimes. They said this is for any illegal that wants to come to our country and commit crimes of violence towards our American citizens. We got a spot for you way down there in El Salvador.
It ain't no joke, bro. I watched the documentary on that a couple of times. I had to watch it a couple of times, bro. It is so intense.
Bro.
I wouldn't wish that on American gang members. I wouldn't. I mean, that's a different type of world out there. That's a different type of world.
I was about to say, bro, that's two different types of gangs. Let me tell you something. I was locked up, right? When I was in prison, I was locked up with a little dude that was MS-13, right? You know what his fantasy was? This is how he spoke. He said, "You know my fantasy?" I say, "What?" He said, "I want to always chop up a person. I want to eat a piece." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, that's my fantasy. That's what I want to do." And he'll tell you that he used the machete to, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. He was a hitman, little dude, bro. He had like 4'9". You know what I'm saying? Little dude. Called him Negro. And bro, he was vicious. He was vicious. And that's what is regular to them. To them, it's like cutting up a steak. You know, it's not a big deal. And that's what everybody has to do to become a part of that gang. From his own mouth. He said, if you're not a real MS-13, if you've never held a machete. I'm like, what? He said, yeah.
Big difference than these drive-by and wanna-be trigger pullers that we have here in America.
Bro, I'll say good riddance. And they need to take I wonder if they took the ones that are in our prisons and sent them back down there. That's what I want to know. Because we got a lot of the MS-13s, which they cause the problem, right? The MS-13s be causing problems on the yard. So I wonder if they took them out of our prisons to allow our prisons to run a little bit better because, bro, I'm telling you, they different. They real quick to pull out that blade. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I say go ahead and send them, man. Go ahead and send them.
They like that close combat.
Man, look, and they all jump. It ain't no one-on-one. It's everybody. They flowing on you. It's crazy. But yeah. So that's it. You got anything else you want to say to the people before we get off? I gotta get the kids from school.
No, Lucretia was cooking. She was listening. Love you, sis. Patriot. Once again, it was a pleasure and an honor, man, to be on here with you. I look forward to many more. And like I said, hey, if they decide that they want to put Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett at the forefront for 2028, I once again will extend out the hand for VP to my man Cash, because I will definitely, I'm telling you, I've been talking about it. I got a book coming out. This way people can get the whole insights of the whole life. And I'm getting prepared because I see where the Democrats are going. See, the Democrats can't get away from the limelight of thinking they have to entertain the hood. They can't get away from thinking they got to control the black vote, control the Latino. Well, you know what? We about to fight fire with fire. Because
hey man, I wouldn't want that job. I'm already thinning out.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
No, man. I'm a servant of the people online and then in the charity world.
If they say, Cash, be yourself and we are going to fund you, brother. Your ideas compared to the Democrat leadership.
They take me out, bro. They take me out because I'm not
Okay,
with
now
some of
we
the things.
talking something
They got
different. I thought
APAC and
that's
all
what
that.
was
I'm like,
brought
I
to my
don't want no
attention.
APAC agent following me around, bro. I don't want that. All right. I don't want to deal with all of that. I'm good. I'll be an advisor or something to you if you jump up in that race, man, and you win. I got your back, but I couldn't take the job. And
said,
Obama,
"They
he
will
went in there,
take
that
me
boy was
out."
fresh, had a fresh fade, his hair was still black. And then when he came up out of there, that man was wrinkled. He had white hair. I don't want that. I don't want to age 50 years in for. I'm cool. I'd rather just chill and do my thing online.
You don't think it's different though? Obama wasn't nothing but a puppet. Do you know how hard it is to have some type of conviction in you that you want to do, but your puppet masters got you doing something else? That's a stressful position. I can see why his hair's so great.
I'm good. I don't want it. I don't want
I
it.
love you, brother.
Love you too, brother. And I'm glad you came on with me. I appreciate you.
Hey, in the meantime, in between time, until next time.
All right, my bro.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless. So for all of you beautiful people that are tuned in still with me right now, I just want to say thank you for coming on. I'm sorry I had to do the political talk today, man. It was just, but these things, I'm like, I got to show this. I've got to. It was worth it. It was worth it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video on your way out. Thank you so much. I got some stuff I'm going to release. A couple videos. All right. I'm trying to fine tune them. I want you guys to critique me on how they come out. If you haven't already, please go over to awakenotwokestore.com. Check out the new merch. This is one of my favorite shirts right here. God's got you. Go get that. We got some new Streetlight Unity Movement stuff up there. We got a couple new shirts. Awakenotwokestore.com. Enter cash at checkout. You'll receive 20% off. Okay. And then American made. Everything American made. If you're interested in getting involved in that with me, go ahead and go to freedomboxinfo.com. Fill out the jot form. All right. And that's about all I got other than thank you guys. Oh, that's what I forgot to tell you. Announcement. We've raised over $1,000 so far to sponsor these kids for the YMCA. So I'm going up there tomorrow. Miss Kim was sick this whole time. She just got back in there. She called me today. I'm gonna go up there tomorrow and we're gonna pay for 5 kids to have a sponsorship to the YMCA. And that's all because of you guys. So thank you so much for donating. If you haven't donated or would like to donate, the link is still the same. If you're on Facebook, it's the link that's right there at the top. It's the pinned comment. If you're on here, then it's the general campaign fund. I think my mods always throw it up. It'll be in the comments after this. Yeah, you guys could sponsor some kids, man, so they don't end up like Jasmine Crockett being all ghetto and stuff. You know, they could go to the YMCA and do their homework. They got social studies and history and all that. They could do all of that right there in a little study hall that they have. Or they could play some basketball if they don't have any homework to do. They can go swimming. They can work out with me. They can do all types of stuff. It's just great. It's a good thing. Football camp, they got it all there. So if that's you and you're like, yo, I want to give to help out the kids, well, then that's where you give at right there. Givebutter.com/2025 general campaign. All right. Do that. No amount is too small and no amount is too big. I mean, you could sponsor a kid by yourself if you like. Do it. Do it. Let's get these kids in there. I appreciate you guys. God bless y'all. Unite. Don't fight. Be a street light. It's only you can be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart. That's just the facts. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. That's all. Y'all have a good day.